Good morning. How are you guys doing? Hey, have you ever had somebody that you knew, but you didn't quite recognize them because maybe they were far away? Did you ever somebody wave to you and you go, oh, yeah, who is that? Did that ever happen to you? Why can't you recognize somebody sometimes? Okay, so you haven't seen him in a while, and especially, if it's been a very long time, sometimes they look a little bit older, right? Why else? They're far away. That could be one thing. Why else would you might maybe not recognize somebody? What if it was dark outside? Would you be able to recognize somebody if it was dark? Probably not. So the disciples today, they knew that Jesus was raised from the dead. They had seen him twice before. But in today's gospel reading, Jesus is standing on the beach, and they're out in a boat about 100 yards away, and Jesus waves to them and says, hey! And they don't recognize him right away. Why do you think they didn't recognize Jesus? What things were there? So they were 100 yards away. It was kind of far away, right? Why else? Why else, maybe? It says it was just after daybreak. You know what that means? It was still dark outside, yeah. Daybreak means the sun was just starting to show up there, but you really couldn't see. And sometimes maybe they couldn't hear his voice. So how did they recognize Jesus? How did they know it was Jesus? How did they figure that out? Yeah, that was really sort of a weird thing to do, right? He says, throw the net on the other side of the boat. You think that's probably going to work? That's probably not going to, but they do it anyway. And then, how many fish had they caught before? No, before Jesus did that, how many fish did they catch? None. Zip. And how many catch afterwards? 150. A whole mess of fish. It's like a whole mess of goldfish, right? But they were big fish. And it was the fish. It was the fish that helped them recognize Jesus, because they said, my gosh, only Jesus could do this. This wouldn't work if it had been anybody but Jesus. And you know what they did for a living?
They ate the fish.
Well, that's what they did afterwards. They were fishermen. They went out in the boat, they caught fish. So it was a regular thing for them to see fish. But Jesus used a regular thing that they were used to, and he helped them to know they were there, that he was there with them. And sometimes, when we want to look for Jesus, can we see Jesus standing in front of us like we see each other? Usually we can't. Can we hear Jesus' voice like you hear my voice? Not usually. But you know what? Sometimes Jesus uses regular people that we see all the time, and regular stuff we do, like the disciples were fishing, to help us know that Jesus is really there with us. And the story in today's gospel reading was a reminder that even though we don't see Jesus all the time, that Jesus is alive and Jesus is near us. And sometimes it's regular stuff like fish that helps people to know that Jesus is there. So we're going to say a prayer, and then I'm going to let you have some fish to remember that sometimes it's regular stuff like that and like snacks that help us know Jesus. All right, so let's hold hands and say a prayer. Hold hands first and say a prayer. All right, let's pray. Dear Jesus, thank you for being near us. Thank you for being near us, even when we don't see you.
Even when we don't see you.
Help us to recognize.
Help us to recognize
that you are there.
that you are there.
And to share your love with others.
And to share your love with others.
Amen.
Amen.
Okay, everybody can have a handful. Small handful. Enough for everybody to get some.